And we're now getting some breaking news. This is regarding the India-European Union trade deal. We're learning that the United States goes ballistic over this trade deal. US has claimed that European Union is funding war against themselves. US has said that they've put 25% tariff for buying Russian oil on India. And remember, the big announcement over the trade pact between the India and European Union, which is being called the mother of all deal. The announcement is expected today in the afternoon. And amid that, the US is fuming. US has claimed that European Union is funding war against themselves by making this deal with India. And they've also said that they've already put 25% tariff for buying Russian oil on India. And now with this deal that European Union is going to do with India, they are funding war against themselves. This is what the United States claims.
The U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. Guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. The U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. Guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. The U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices.
And my colleague Rohit Sharma is now joining us with more details on this. Rohit, it seems like the US is not very keen and happy on the trade deal between India and European Union, with such statements coming to the fore from United States, which claim that with this deal, the European Union is funding war against themselves.
Well, this was a comment made by Secretary Besant on a Sunday show on ABC, and he was talking about other topics too. But then when he was asked about, the war in Russia, he kind of obviously alluded to the fact that, look, the United States has prioritized the war in Russia and Ukraine to the extent that they've put these additional tariffs on India so that India could, help the Russians come to table and negotiate a deal. But on the other hand, Europeans have not helped their cause. They talk a big game, but the EU, on the other hand, has essentially not done any of that and is going ahead and signing a deal with India. And in a way, as Secretary Besant said, European countries are financing this war by buying this refined Russian oil products from India, which again India imports from Russia. So I think there is some sense of dissatisfaction in the U.S. about the way European Union is acting, especially when it comes to getting a resolution to the war in Ukraine and Russia. And I think Secretary Besant obviously wanted to make sure that people do understand that U.S. is doing everything in its power to make sure that they could end this war. But on the contrary, we'll see, and as is expected, the EU and India will today announce a trade deal framework. We probably would not be signing a deal, this is what we've learned, but we're announcing a framework about this deal, and it's definitely getting noticed here in Washington, D.C.
The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. The U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. Guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal